did the whole TV show, that you've really been this kind of goodwill ambassador on behalf of just the whole world of superheroes. I saw this Funko Pop documentary that you showed up in, and it's really touching seeing you interacting with fans and the way that you so directly affected all of these people, and now generations of people since your show hit the air. What have those experiences been like for you? I mean, is that a big part of why you still do these shows?
Well, you go way back to the time when I was born, when I was a kid, close to birth, I lost like maybe 75 or 80% of my hearing. So it made me very introverted as a child. So I was bullied a lot. So I had to read the comic book, the whole comic Superman, because I was obsessed with power. And that gave me some hope for myself. And I had all these dreams and visions how I'll be strong and powerful. I wouldn't be ridiculed anymore than discover bodybuilding. I knew that was my platform to survive. So I had to literally work harder than anybody in order to have to be a speech impediment to work on my speech and also the hearing situation. But it saved my life because that's the direction I want to take. If I haven't taken that path, I would have done nothing but, do drugs, alcohol. So I wanted to go that path and go because I had a very strained relationship with my father, like a love-hate relationship. So I wanted to be strong and powerful, knowing that I don't want to be abused anymore. But it's funny how all that got me to this direction where I am now, doing different film, doing conventions. But I enjoy doing conventions because as a kid, I would give anything to come to a show like this to be celebrity, to get that self-confidence, that pat on my back. That's why when I'm in these kind of convention, a lot of the fans, they bring up stories that affect their life, and also my life, because I get to share my childhood memories with them. So it's beautiful.
Good, a bunch of you have shown up. I'm going to turn it over to you in just a sec. I've got one more for you before I do. When a fan comes up to you and tells you that they're being bullied, tells you that they're having a tough time, that they're facing the kinds of impossible odds that you did, what advice do you give them? Do you point them at a particular thing, or how do you
identify that you give, people that are bullied, it could be from the age 10 years old, the age 40 or 50, but it's not the victim, it's usually the bully, because the bully could be a relative, it could be online, it could be a neighborhood, and it could be a serious situation to lead to molestation, rape, murder. But it's important that if someone victimized like one of you, take action, go talk to someone, like a police officer to someone, because the bully is the one with the problem, not the victim, because the bully could be jealous, could be angry. So it's important to take action to do that, because in my time when I was young, I would be afraid to tell anybody about it because people were assuming that I was making up stories and lies. So I was so afraid. I got beat up a lot, so I didn't want to tell anybody because I was afraid to be laughed at. So that's why I had to work out with the ways to know that you can express my anger. So the people that are victimized, they can end up harming themselves because they internalize it. So it's important to take action for that.
Yes, sir. It's an honor to meet you, Mr. Ferrigno, and to me, you are the only Hulk. The other guys are just wearing motion capture suits. You actually did it with your body.
And the teacher at home can't sign autograph.
I just have one other question about when you were painted green, was it, did you have any side effects from that? Was it bad for your skin?
No, but when I got made up as a Hulk, they used grease makeup on their face because I had these different appliances. They had to use that grease makeup and powder it down. That process took like an hour and a half. But the body makeup, they used pancake makeup in Germany. They would spray my body, make a ball clay, rub it in, like 5 coats. So I would be standing there, with the green underwear like I'm being crucified. And then they had another crew come in, they put the eye, the wig, and teeth. So I done this for many different shows. So one night, it was about 2 in the morning, I was exhausted. I said to the makeup man, listen, don't take the makeup off. I'm going to drive home. I'll take it home. I'll take it off when I get home. So I'm on the freeway driving, and as I'm driving, there's an SUV next to me, and the guy turned around, he sees me, and goes, holy shit! Oh my God! It's an Incredible Hulk! And an SUV rammed and it goes smack into a bus. So I'm standing there saying to myself, I better get home because how am I going to frame this situation with the white eyes, the wig, and the teeth? Luckily I got home. I felt so bad for that person that smacked his SUV. But that was the last I go home with the makeup.
Thank you so much for saying what you did about bullies. I appreciate that. I absolutely loved all of your cameos in the various Marvel movies. Was that something that you had approached them for, or that they approached you for?
It's something I approached myself because when Ang Lee directed the first Hulk, he used motion capture himself. This would use my body, so I wanted to have part of me in the film, a part of the film. So I was very honored the first film to come on this walk out. The building was Stan Lee. Because Stan Lee created the Hulk. And it was fun to have him around. And so I did the cameo with Ed Norton. I wanted to be part of that because I also did the voice for the Hulk after that. So it's important to me because I feel they haven't used me enough because I don't know what direction they're taking the character to. Because now I feel the new film is too much of the space stuff, too much of the CGI. It should be more organic, more authentic. But the cameo I enjoyed the first one, Stan Lee.
Hi there. So in addition to like doing the Hulk and that, you've also done like a lot of the fantasy stuff and that over in like the movies that were made in Europe and that. So I just like to ask, like, did you enjoy going over to Europe to do that sort of film?
Yeah.
What film did you?
Which any of them in particular?
I think there's like the Hercules one.
Oh, you mean Hercules?
Yeah.
I took that involved in Italy because I've always been a fan of Hercules. And I've always wanted to be Hercules because when I was a kid, when I went to the movies, I saw Steve Reed, he played the original Hercules. When I saw him pull down the pillars with the chain, I said, that's it, this is what I want to be. So it was a dream of mine to play the Hulk, to play Hercules. So I made an effort after the series. They approached me about playing Hercules. I had a chance to film in Italy to do the spaghetti Italian film like Sinbad, Hercules. It was a lot of fun because I wanted to show my best physique, my best shape. Because when I was filming the Hulk, I was covered in green. You couldn't appreciate to see the definition of my body. I wanted to have a chance to portray it in Hercules.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Ferrigno, for coming out. Just a couple comments. When I was growing up, my wife who's here used to be my girlfriend, and she would phone me up on a Friday night and say, "Are you coming to get me?" And I would say, "Well, yeah, after the Hulk is over, I'll be right there." And I just want to say, we've been coming to this expo for quite some time, and you have as well. A couple of years ago, my wife went to take your picture on your signing booth, and someone told her to stop, and you told them to stop, and you stood up and you waved at her. And you're the only person that's ever done that. And I really want to say that you appreciate your fans, and we really know it, and that's a memory she has kept for quite some time.
Thank you.
And I want to thank the Fan Expo for the ASL interpreter. I think that's great to have, so thank you very much.
Thank you. And I have to say, you guys, you fans, make the expo. Not just the celebrities, you're the one who support the box office. You're the one that watch TV. You're the one that brings us to the expo. Thank you so much, and thank you all for your support.
Now, to tag on to what you said, I was wondering if we could, ASL style, give a round of applause for our interpreter. Next over here.
How did you get involved with the Hulk?
10 points to Gryffindor.
Well, I was training for the 1977 Mixed Olympia competition, which I was slated to win. At the time, they were filming the pilot of the Hulk with another actor named Richard Kiel, who played Jordan James Bond, who was 7'2", a big guy. So one day, the boy came on the set with his father. The director, the boy said to his father, "Dad, this is not the Hulk. It doesn't look like the character in the comic book." They realized they had a problem. They did a nationwide casting call, so I remember I got a phone call. And I went down for the audition, and I won the audition. And the next day, I went to bodybuilding to the show business playing the Hulk because they had to reshoot the pilot, and it was the perfect time and place for it to happen.
Thanks. I'm a huge fan, but probably a question we get a lot. What do you think will win between a fight? Thor or Hulk?
Thor versus the Hulk, who wins?
What do you think? I would take a camera and I would smash it to pieces.
I'm
Well, I love to throw characters. As a kid, I used to throw comic books too. Throw comics and Spider-Man and the Hulk, they were my favorite comic characters. But I was very excited when I shot The Return of the Hulk. Thor was in that movie of the week with me, and that was a beautiful, battle between the two of them.
Thank you.
Hello, Mr. Fregno. It's nice to meet you. And it's really tough being a bodybuilder in Westeros. I'm the only female bodybuilder there. And my question is, if you were to cast a female actress to play a female version of the Hulk, who would that be? Because I think we'd like to see a female version of the Hulk one time.
Would you say, what actress would he cast as She-Hulk?
Yes. Yeah.
I would say Jennifer Lawrence to pull it off.
Oh.
Because she's a very fine actress. And she's tall. But I would see the She-Hulk show a lot of emotion like I did in this series. It's important because at the time when I was filming the Hulk, I show what you call pantomime. That means actor when I'm speaking. Yeah. But the emotion, the sensitivity there, the character beautiful. And I think she'd be a great choice.
That's a good choice.
Hi, we've talked about how they've gone to CGI for the Hulk, but I know you're still very active in bodybuilding and such. Are there any actors or bodybuilders who you believe would do a very, very good role as an actual Hulk?
There's so many big bodybuilders out there wrestling. It's a different time era compared when I was back my time. We have different sizes, different shapes. So it all depends on that person's an actor. But you look at the wrestlers today, you look at the ton of bodybuilders, there's a lot of big guys today. So it wouldn't be easy to find. It wouldn't be that hard to find one.
Thank you.
My parents were immigrants from Eastern Europe, and my father passed away a decade ago, but his entire time in Canada, he was never able to really understand the language or read or write very well. So he could never really enjoy Western movies or television, but he could enjoy silent films because there was no language. So one of the only shows on television that he really enjoyed was The Hulk, because when you came on screen, it was like a real special effect, because it told an entire story. Just immediately, you could see this man transform into this giant creature. And so, for the rest of the show, he couldn't really watch the rest of the show, but he would say to me, you call me, you tell me when you're going to Hulk. And so, every time I would say, I would shout out, you'd be in the kitchen or something, I would shout, hey Dad, Hulk, he's turning into Hulk. And he would come out and say, oh yeah, that's amazing. And so you were able to convey so much just with your body that in movies today, if he were alive today to see the current Avengers films, he would look at that Hulk and say, that's not a real man,
right.
It's an animation. But you were naturally checked.
Well, the beauty about the show too, with the perfect advertisement for someone who gets bullied. Every episode you see David Banner, if you get bullied, what happens becomes the Hulk. Like he was saying everything because it's real. You connected with it very easily.
Yes, that's exactly right. I think that's one of the things that he enjoyed was always Bill Bixby, who would be oppressed by somebody and made angry and turned into a gigantic monster. He very much loved it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello, Mr. Fregno.
How are you?
I'm fine. Now, someone mentioned that in the past, people have gone to you about what was it like growing up when a tough past. What do you recommend to people like, say, me, who deal with, like, say, a different disorder? Like, I'm on the autistic spectrum and I struggle with it since I'm early 4th grade. How do you deal with tough situations like that?
You're talking about how you deal with other struggles?
Dealing with different conditions that cause other people to feel uncomfortable?
Well, you want my advice for that? Well, when I was young growing up, I was considered to be like a freak. They used to call me deaf mute, deaf always because of my hearing. I had a lot of friends of mine that didn't want to be friends with me because I wasn't perfect. I didn't have perfect hearing. But I did never feel sorry for myself. All I did was to embrace my passion, be the best I can be. Ignore the naysayers. Never worry about getting other people's approval. Give yourself approval. Give yourself confidence. If you're passionate about something, embrace it. Think about the positive instead of the negativity. People that are negative, stay away from them. Think more of the positive. It's called positive living. And you know, you're a good person inside, and just tell yourself that, because there's a lot of negative people, and just tell yourself that I'm a good soul, and just embrace your passion. That's the best you can do, and maximize your own personal power.
Growing up, I used to, when I was little, I would watch Incredible Hulk all the time, and I loved watching Bill Bixby play Bruce Banner. I loved watching you play the Hulk, but when it would come to the point in the scene where Bruce would change into the Hulk, being a little kid, I'd be absolutely terrified, so I'd sit and hide behind the couch until you finished transforming into the Hulk. And I was just kind of curious, is there anything for yourself that, say, either growing up or as a young adult, that you kind of found that was something that would scare you at the time, but you kind of, now being older and more experienced, like you're kind of looking back saying, that's something that actually doesn't really bother me anymore.
So when he was a kid,
what scared me was the kid with my father. My father, I had a bad relationship with him. He had a very bad temper, very angry. And anytime if I misbehaved, he would get the belt and he would whip me and beat me. That terrified me because I was terrified of his temper. And I had to deal with that. And that's why a lot of bodybuilders today, like myself, we built our body like a shield. Be powerful, strong, that nothing can deceive me, be invincible. Those are my fears growing up, like moving a lot of those kind of fears, being afraid. So basically I had a love-hate relationship. And you know, these are my scars, and that's why I like to minimize those things in life.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Hello. I get to watch The Hulk again now on television with my grandson, and it's fantastic to see, even today, your portrayal really stands up. My question is, how would the Hulk deal with Donald Trump?
You know, when I first came on the show, like The Apprentice, they expected to see all born, no brain. And look who's coming on the show, Luke Rigno. I ended up tolerating, I made the nice show, the only athlete that made the nice show. Now, Donald Trump is a loose cannon, but I was able to raise $100,000 on my charity, monthly distribution ARF. That's a good thing about that, The Apprentice. I learned a lot about branding, but it's a very tough show to be on because your self-esteem like on the wall, and then people want to fight each other, so you almost have to like turn your back, sideways, backwards all day long because nobody likes to fight it. No, it's a tough show because you're getting like 12, 13 ego. But I made a lot of friends in the mixed community. People would yell at me, they didn't like me, but the good news is that both of them I was very honest, I said how I felt. So it was an interesting show, and but the good thing about it, I enjoyed raising money for my charity. That for me is the most important thing.
So you defeat Donald Trump by actually doing, I guess you would say, beneficial things for the people.
Yeah, the show itself, raising money for charity, but that was the good thing about the show.
Hello, Mr. Frigno. Thank you for all the years you put into the Hulk. Yeah, when my parents moved to this country, they one of the first things they got hooked on was the Hulk. Like it meant so much to them. So thank you. And I was wondering,
did you have to change anything in your exercise and diet when you moved from bodybuilding to doing the show?
I mean, change the diet when I did the Hulk. The only change I made, for example, when I was in the makeup, I couldn't work out during the time in the makeup because when they applied the makeup sometimes like 5 in the morning, 4 in the morning, and I was finished maybe 10 at night. So I didn't make the ever either train afterwards or before. I could train like 4 days a week, like 2 days on a weekend. And the diet was the same, mostly protein, fruits, and vegetables. And one time I was getting made up one morning, like 5 in the morning. I used to have a 12-egg omelet. So I remember I was in the makeup chair, there was a catering truck that came to my motorhome. They said, listen, we're going to the next location. We're leaving at 5 a.m. Would you want breakfast? I said, sure, make me a 12-egg omelet, and then just put it on the step outside my motorhome, let it cool down. So anyway, they bring the omelet, they put it on the side step of my motorhome door, and they leave. So I said to the makeup man, 15 minutes later, could you retrieve my omelet? He opened the door, there was an empty plate. The coyotes ate my breakfast. 5 in the morning, there's no food in the motorhome, I'm getting made up, I'm starving, I'm more hungry than the coyote. But I'll tell you, I want to eat a diet coyote if I can find it. But, you know, my diet is pretty strenuous, but at the time it's a lot more protein because the fact of all my filming and action scenes, so that brings up more energy.
I see you're in great shape right now. I mean, you could probably whip my ass all over.
Definitely.
Hi. I'm not sure if this is common knowledge or not, but did you do all the stunts during filming, or was it someone else?
I did 99% of the stunts. And you know, it's funny, one time I had to jump off the second floor of a roof of a house. And at the time, you know, you have the contact lens, it's very hard to see like a peephole. So in this scene, I'm standing on the roof of a house, and I had to hold this woman. This was the second pilot. So I'm holding this person, I can't see in front of me, and I suddenly froze. I couldn't move, I didn't know what to say. So Bill Bixby comes out of the motorhome, they had a big canvas, like 20 people holding the canvas for me to jump. So Bill walked up, he said to me, are you gonna jump? I said, I don't know. He said, you better jump because it's gonna cost $50,000, go over budget. If you don't jump on that roof, you're off the show. So I remember I just jumped with that woman, I just jumped off the second floor, and I remember landing on the canvas. I remember what happened, but I tell you, I thought I crushed the woman, but you know, that was the last time I jumped on a second story building. It's tough when you do your own stunt, because at the time there was no stunt double there to replace me because of my size and physicality, so I had to do 99% of my own stunt, but I won't hang from helicopters.
Thank you.
We got time for these 2 last questions. Go for it.
Could you tell us a little bit about being on the set of Pumping Iron?
Pumping Iron? That was a great movie because at the time we flew to South Africa to compete. I was training for the Superstar competition, and bodybuilding back then was very unknown to the public. So Arnold and I, you know, we competed against each other, and at the time, first prize was only $750. That was my food intake for like 3 weeks, because back then all of us had an occupation to work in order to support ourselves. But it was a great movie because it put bodybuilding in the mainstream, and before that, the public didn't know what bodybuilding was. Like for example, after I did Pumping Iron, when I did the Hulk, a lot of people when saw the Hulk on TV, they knew the body was real. They know like Bill Bixby in a jumpsuit pump with air. But Pumping Iron changed, revolutionized the sport of bodybuilding because it put me on the map and exposed the whole world about physical fitness, because back then, before Pumping Iron, the only people that knew about bodybuilding was the Muscle magazine. But the beauty about it, like 41 years later, 40 some years, that is still holding on, because back then we had beautiful symmetry, the beautiful sport compared to today.
Thank you.
Last one.
Hi, I was wondering, Bill Bixby apparently hated the podcast. I was wondering, did they hurt? Did you, were they paid for it all?
Yeah, because at the time with a hard contact, like a hard shell, and the very small hole, like television, So periodically they had to take it in and out. Every 15 minutes they had to numb my eye to put it in because it would start scratching. So when they had to remove the contact lens, they had a whole production. Because today I could wear a contact lens. The new one today is like about an hour. But back then, they hurt because it's like a hard shell. It was the first time they used that in film, and it was tough. So they made sure that when they put the contact, I do my scenes, because sometimes I had sand in my face, and the whole production for a couple of hours because the eyes were very sensitive.
Now we had a great day today. You're here tomorrow, right?
Yeah.
So Lou is still here tomorrow. If you haven't gone to see him, make sure to go see him. I have 2 favors to ask of you.
Well, I want to tell a story before.
Okay.
I have to tell the story. A long time ago, when I was 21 years old, I was training for the Miss Universe competition. And at the time, I drove a green Volkswagen. People wonder how I got in the Volkswagen because big as I was, they thought I'd take the front seat out and I stayed in the back. So anyway, I had to get a tan. I was training for the Miss Universe competition. I was like 280 pounds. I never drove to the beach. I'm looking for a parking spot. I couldn't find a spot. So I'm running out of time. I'm driving down the block 3 times. And I said to myself, I have an idea. And I saw another car like a Volkswagen, like a Dakar B210. So I parked my Volkswagen, double parked. I walked to the car. I got in front of the car. I lifted the car. I put it in the air towards the middle of the street. Then I went in the back and I did the same thing. I literally moved the car from the middle of the street. Then I parked my Volkswagen right into the spot. And then this big, heavy guy, I think he's like a rap guy, comes up and starts screaming, yelling at me. How dare you take my parking spot, yelling and screaming on the street corner? So at the same time, a police officer in a vehicle shows up. The cop gets out of the car and sees this man screaming at me, telling the cop that I stole his parking spot. Anyway, to make a long story short, the guy got a ticket for double parking. They gave him a second ticket for distributing the piece, and he got a third ticket for assaulting a police officer. And I got my suntan.
Wonderful to spread such a great message of anti-bullying, of putting positive energy out in the world. If you really enjoyed this Q&A, if you really enjoyed this convention today, this weekend, get out there on social media, put some good energy out in the world. If I can ask you for some more good energy, can we blow the roof off the place with the strongest survey?
Embrace your passion, love yourself, be nice, and God bless you, and never give up. I love you.